Welcome. I'm Mr. Toth. I'll be your world history teacher for the semester. Presumably, this is your first time taking world history. That's awesome. It's my first time teaching it. So we've got that in common. This slideshow is an overview of the 6 units we'll cover and the 6 more or less strategies we'll examine in depth throughout our semester. First, we'll go over the units of study, then the academic strategies we'll use to increase our capacity for learning the content. Throughout this class, the 3 or 4 main themes I hope you will take from this are how to read like a historian, to think like a historian, and how to write and talk like a historian. To do this, to be able to accomplish these tasks, you only need to have an open mind and an eagerness to learn on a daily basis. Come to class ready to learn something you didn't know, be it a historical fact, an important figure or movement. Maybe it's a new strategy or tactic or a helpful tip from a classmate that will help you throughout the remainder of your academic years, throughout high school, and possibly through college. The ability to read, think, write, and talk like a historian can have a lasting impact on your futures in the professional workplace as well, in corporate offices and job sites equally. Now we'll go over the units of study. First unit that will begin shortly after we go back to school is Unit 1, The Age of Revolutions. We'll begin by looking at and reviewing the Enlightenment and the scientific revolutions, and then we'll focus on the English, the French, the American, and the Latin American revolutions of the 17th and 18th centuries. With Unit 2, we're going to take a look at industrialization throughout the world and how the increase in production and manufacturing capabilities changed the world like never before. Unit 3 will close out our first semester and it will be our study of imperialism. When we study imperialism, we'll be focusing on the Americas, North and South America, and the European imperialist nations like Great Britain, Spain, and France. We begin our second semester shortly after spring break with World War I, or what was known then as the Great War. Next, we'll focus on World War II and how that impacted humanity. Our last unit of study, Unit 6, will focus on new nation building. This will conclude our semester and your adventures through Mr. Toth's world history class. Now we'll go over the academic strategies we'll use to increase our capacity for learning the content. Focused note-taking. The primary source of information in the class will be presented in two formats. One, in-class lecture, like this, with graphics where you will take comprehensive notes, and in-class readings where you will also take comprehensive notes. Notes will be important, especially in this class, since you will be able to use your notes and only your notes on every test, quiz, or exam. So, let's take our note-taking procedures seriously. Primary source of information in the class will be presented in two formats. One, in-class lecture like this, with graphics where you will take comprehensive notes, and in-class readings where you will also take comprehensive notes. Notes will be super duper important, especially in this class, since you're able to use your notes and only your notes on every test, quiz, or exam. So if you take your note-taking procedures seriously and you take notes regularly, you'll have no problem with the tests, quizzes, or exams. We'll also learn strategies to support reading for understanding. Strategies to support reading for understanding through the textbook and any supplemental materials like research articles and historical texts like newspaper articles and historical archives will be important throughout this entire class. This will be aided by focused note-taking during all in-class reading assignments, both individually and in small groups. Graphic organizers are a helpful learning tool for students of all ages to organize, clarify, or simplify complex information. They'll help you construct understanding through an exploration of the relationships between concepts using whatever method best fits your individual learning style. Graphic organizers are a helpful learning tool for students of all ages to organize, clarify, or simplify complex information. They'll help you construct understanding through an exploration of the relationships between concepts using whatever method best fits your unique learning style. Writing to learn and learning to write. Writing to learn means using writing as a tool to promote content learning. When you, as students, write, you are expressing your own original thoughts on paper. Learning to write includes learning two sets of skills: composing skills using the writing process, which includes pre-writing, planning, drafting, or revising, and transcription skills, which includes punctuation, capitalization, spelling, handwriting, or typing skills. A foundational composing skill is the ability to apply knowledge of text structure to write sentences, like knowledge of grammar, paragraphs, and longer passages of text. Knowledge of text structure also includes recognizing the differences among narrative, informational, and argumentative types of writing. Composing requires a great deal of thinking at the pre-writing, planning, and drafting stages before we actually begin to write. Primary source is a piece of information about a historical event or period that was created at the same time as the event itself. Its purpose is to capture the words, the thoughts, and feelings of the past. Primary sources help you understand what happened and why it happened. Primary sources aren't just books, though. They can be any written documents or recorded archives, even actual items created during a historical period. Some examples are letters, diary entries, maps, official records such as birth certificates or marriage licenses, personal items like clothing, tools, coins, or pottery. In a structured discussion, a discussion is used to meet specific learning outcomes. The discussion usually has guidelines, which can be both content-oriented, logistical, and technical. In a structured discussion, each participant has a chance to voice their comments about the various topics and/or questions. This might include what they see as the particular strengths or weaknesses, likely impacts, or major concerns of the topic at hand. Presentations Part 1 concerns oral presentations. What is an oral presentation? Oral presentations are known as a type of public speaking, or simply presentations. They consist of an individual or group verbally addressing an audience on a particular topic. The aim of this is to educate, inform, entertain, or present an argument to your peers. Presentations Part 2. Google Slides, like the slideshow you are viewing right now, can be a powerful presentation tool, and when used correctly, can satisfy the presentation component of this class, especially when we're working in a group setting or format. Presentations Part 3. YouTube, right? Who doesn't know what YouTube is? YouTube can be a great presentation tool. You can, if applicable, record your individual or group presentation, edit the video, add effects, music, graphics, if they support your presentation, and save it to YouTube. And you're good. If you or your group decides to choose this method, you simply need to email me the file before the required due date, and we'll view the presentation in class. So you will not have to present live in class in front of your peers. Finally, presentations Part 4, and the last skill that we'll be working on this year. Presentations Part 4 concerns adventures in mixed media art. Mixed media is a type of artwork that mixes different media or materials into one piece. For example, a piece of art that combines an acrylic painting with fabric and paper is mixed media art. When presented with a description of the art, like a caption, and its significance to the assignment, this can be a very compelling type of presentation, and we will utilize this in every unit throughout this class.